The city smelled like exhaust and rain that never quite fell. Zara Ahmed stood at the edge of the bookstore rooftop, hands wrapped around a paper cup of cold coffee she forgot to drink. She wore an oversized vintage band tee tucked halfway into high-waisted olive cargo pants, a pair of scuffed white Air Force Ones on her feet. Her box braids were pulled into a messy knot at the top of her head, two loose ones framing her face like she had better things to care about. She looked like someone who read between the lines of everything and trusted nobody. She was not supposed to be up here. The bookstore where she worked as a stock girl closed 20 minutes ago. She just could not make herself go back to the apartment. Back to the silence. Back to pretending everything was fine when someone out there knew her real name and what she had run from. The rooftop door slammed open behind her. She spun around. He almost ran into her. Tall, dark hoodie with the sleeves pushed up, a camera strap across his chest like a second heartbeat, black cargo pants, worn-down Timbs. His jaw was sharp enough to cut something and his eyes were red at the edges in a way that had nothing to do with sleep. He looked like someone who used to smile a lot and just stopped one day and never started again. They stared at each other. "Nobody comes up here," she said. "I do," he said. "Been coming here for 6 months." "So have I." Silence landed between them like something heavy. He looked out at the skyline. "You hiding from something or someone?" She did not answer right away. The wind pushed between them. "Both," she finally said. He nodded slowly like that was the most reasonable thing anyone had told him in a long time. "Me too." He sat down on an overturned crate, pulled out his camera, and pointed it at nothing in particular. She watched him for a second, suspicious and curious in equal parts. "I'm Zara," she said. "Just Zara." He looked up. Something crossed his face. Recognition or something close to it. "Eli," he said. "Eli Voss." The name hit her chest like cold water dropped from somewhere high. Eli Voss. The documentary filmmaker. The one whose footage exposed a trafficking ring 2 years ago. The one who disappeared after his source was found dead and everyone stopped asking questions about it. Her cup fell from her hand. He noticed. "You know who I am," he said. It was not a question. She met his eyes. "Do you know who I am?" He studied her face for one long second. "Not yet," he said quietly. "But I think I'm supposed to." The city hummed below them. Somewhere a car alarm wailed and went quiet. Zara felt the ground shift under her feet in a way that had nothing to do with the building. She was not safe. She had never been safe. But standing here, staring at this stranger with red-rimmed eyes and a camera he aimed at shadows, she felt something she had not felt in 2 years. Seen. And that terrified her more than anything. 3 days passed. Zara told herself she was not thinking about Eli Voss. She lied to herself the way she had been lying to everyone else for 2 years. On the 4th day he walked into the bookstore. She was shelving returns in the back, wearing a cropped rust-colored hoodie, dark wide-leg jeans, and fuzzy socks inside her sneakers because the floor was always cold. Her braids were down today, loose around her shoulders. She looked soft and unbothered and she was neither of those things. She heard the bell above the door. She did not look up. "I know what you're running from," he said from across the room. She went still. "Close the door," she said, voice flat. He did. She turned around. He was wearing a black zip-up over a white tee, dark jeans, same Timbs. The camera was gone today. His hands were in his pockets and he looked like someone who practiced being calm until they actually became it. "Talk," she said. "The man you're hiding from." "Darren Melee. He's been funding 3 shell companies tied to the same operation I documented 2 years ago." He paused. "He's the reason my source is dead." Zara's breath went shallow. "How do you know my name?" I didn't. Not until you dropped that cup. He stepped closer, not threatening, just honest. Your face was in a file I never finished going through. You were listed as a witness. Then you vanished. I had to. I know. He sat on the arm of a reading chair like he belonged there. He's looking for you again. Something spooked him. His people are asking questions in 3 cities. Her throat tightened. What do you want from me? He looked at her straight on. I want to finish what I started. And I think you have the piece I'm missing. You're asking me to come out of hiding. I'm asking you to trust me enough to end this. For both of us. She laughed, but there was nothing funny in it. I don't trust anyone. I know, he said. Neither do I. But we're both stuck. And separately we're both losing. She stared at him for a long time. The fluorescent light above flickered like it was thinking about giving up. I need 24 hours, she said. Take it. He stood up, moved toward the door. Stopped. For what it's worth, I looked at that file for a long time. What you did 2 years ago, walking away from everything to protect someone you barely knew. That took everything. She said nothing. He left. She stood in the back of the bookstore with her arms crossed and her heart doing something complicated and dangerous. She had 24 hours. She already knew what she was going to decide. That scared her more than Darren Melley ever had. They worked out of a rented room above a laundromat for 2 weeks. Warm, loud, smelling like fabric softener and coffee and concentrated stress. Zara wore a fitted black long sleeve under her denim jacket, white joggers, black slides. She had her braids up again, a pencil stuck through the knot. She looked like she was studying for finals. She was actually building a case that could get both of them killed. Eli kept his corner of the room neat in a way that felt military. He had a corkboard full of photos, red string, handwritten notes. His camera sat on the table like it was resting between rounds. He wore a gray crewneck today, dark straight-leg jeans, no shoes. Just white socks and the kind of focus that made the air feel tight. They were starting to trust each other. That was the most dangerous part. Tell me what you saw that night, he said. The real version. Zara looked up from her laptop. I already told the police. You told them the safe version. I need the one that actually matters. She closed her laptop slowly. Looked at him. He was not pushing. He was just waiting, like someone who had learned that the truth takes its own time. She told him. All of it. Not just what she witnessed but who she protected by staying quiet about one specific detail. A name she had kept locked behind her teeth for 2 years. When she finished, Eli was quiet for a long moment. That name, he said. Zara, that's Darren's inside contact. The one I could never identify. She nodded. You've been sitting on this for 2 years. I was protecting someone. Who? She looked at the wall. My brother. He was working for Darren without knowing what it really was. If that name came out, so did his. Eli exhaled slowly. Okay. Okay. You protected your family. I'm not here to judge that. She felt something loosen in her chest that had been knotted for so long she forgot it was there. Then his phone buzzed. He looked at the screen. His face changed. What? She asked. He turned the phone around slowly. It was a photo. Her bookstore. Her apartment building. Taken today. Someone tipped him off, Eli said quietly. Someone who knew where we were working. Zara looked at the photo. Then at Eli. Then at the third coffee cup on the counter that she had not poured and he had not poured. Only one other person had a key to this room. Marcus. Eli's oldest friend. The one who set up the space for them. The one who had been there the morning Eli told him Zara's real name. Eli, she said slowly. He was already looking at the key hanging on the hook by the door. His jaw went tight. I know, he said. His voice came out like gravel under weight. The betrayal did not need a name. It was already in the room with them, sitting in that empty chair, wearing a face they both recognized. They had 12 hours before Darren's people found the room. Eli moved fast and quiet, pulling drives, packing the corkboard into a duffel, not talking. Zara watched him and felt something shift in her chest. Not fear. Something more complicated than fear. She was wearing a cream oversized turtleneck, dark bike shorts, chunky sneakers. Her braids were loose and she had not slept and she did not care about any of it. She cared about the USB drive in her hand containing everything she had kept silent about for 2 years. I need to send this to an encrypted media account, she said. If we do it right, even if Darren gets to us, the story still runs. We do it together, Eli said. No. He stopped packing. Looked at her. She held up the drive. The contact in this file. The name I protected. If this goes out, my brother's name comes with it. Unless I go to him first. Give him a head start. Zara, there's no time. I know. If you go out there alone right now, Darren's people will find you. I know that too. He crossed the room in 3 steps. Stopped right in front of her. He was so close she could see the tension in his jaw, the way his eyes were working through something hard and real. Don't do this, he said. Voice low. Raw. He's my brother, Eli. And what are you to me? The question landed between them like something neither of them planned. She looked up at him. He looked back. No performance, no walls, just 2 people standing in a room above a laundromat while the city outside tried to swallow them. Call him, Eli said finally. Right now. Give him 30 minutes. Then we send everything together. He might not answer. He will. You're his sister. She pulled out her phone. Her hands were not steady. She dialed. It rang twice. Her brother picked up. She said his name and heard him exhale like he had been waiting for this call for 2 years. She told him everything in under 5 minutes. Her voice broke once and she put it back together and kept going. When she hung up, her eyes were wet. She did not wipe them. Eli did not say anything. He just handed her a bottle of water and sat beside her on the floor, back against the wall, shoulder touching hers. They sat like that for exactly 27 minutes. Then they stood up. They uploaded everything. As the files transferred, Eli's phone lit up with an unknown number. He answered. Put it on speaker. Marcus's voice came through quiet and broken. I didn't know he'd move that fast. I swear I didn't know. Eli stared at the wall. You gave him her name. Silence. I'm sorry, Marcus said. He had something on me. I had no choice. You had a choice, Eli said. You just made the wrong one. He ended the call. The upload hit 100%. Outside, a car engine cut off on the street below. Then another. We need to move, Zara said. Yeah, he said. He grabbed the duffel. She grabbed the drives. At the door, she stopped and looked back at the room. The corkboard outline still on the wall. 2 weeks of their lives in a rectangle of faded paint. Hey, Eli said from the doorway. She looked at him. Whatever happens next, he said. I'm glad it was you. She felt that in her whole chest. Then they ran. 6 weeks later. The story ran in 4 countries. Darren Mele was arrested on a Tuesday morning outside a hotel in Geneva. Zara watched the footage on her phone from a fire escape in a city she was allowed to name again. She had a new jacket, soft caramel leather, over a fitted white tee, dark straight jeans, fresh white sneakers. Her braids were freshly done and she was drinking coffee that was actually hot this time. She looked like someone who had stopped running. Her brother called her every day now. Short calls. Sometimes just to say nothing important. She was learning that nothing important was actually everything. She had not seen Eli since the night they ran. She told herself that was fine. They were not a love story. They were two people who needed each other at a specific moment and survived it. That was enough. That was more than enough. She kept telling herself that until she heard footsteps on the fire escape metal behind her. She knew before she turned around. Eli stood at the top of the stairs. Dark green puffer jacket over a black hoodie, dark jeans, the same Timbs, always the same Timbs. His camera was around his neck. His eyes were less red than the first time she saw him. He looked like someone who had slept. Like someone who maybe had a reason to. "How'd you find me?" she said. "You told your brother the name of the street." "He told me." "My brother doesn't know you." "He does now. Called me 3 weeks ago. Said if I was too stupid to find you myself, he was going to personally handle it." She laughed. The real kind. It surprised both of them. Eli stepped onto the fire escape. Stood beside her. The city spread out below them, loud and unglamorous and completely unbothered by their entire situation. "The documentary is almost done," he said. "I want you as a producer. I'm a bookstore stock girl. You were. You're also the person who held a secret for 2 years to protect someone and still found a way to tell the truth when it mattered. That's not a stock girl thing." She looked at him sideways. "That your pitch?" "Yeah. It's not bad." He looked at her. She looked back. The morning light hit them both flat and unfiltered and neither of them looked away. "I'm not good at this," he said. "Being close to people. Trusting. All of it. Me neither. But I think I want to try. With you specifically." She turned to face him fully. He was already looking at her like she was the only thing in the frame. "I'm still kind of a mess," she said. "I know. Same. This could go really badly." "Probably," he said. "But it could also go the other way." She thought about the rooftop. The cold coffee. The way his name hit her chest like a stone through still water and somehow, led to this. A fire escape. A city that no longer felt like a trap. A man who aimed his camera at shadows because he believed something true was always hiding inside them. She reached out and took his hand. He held on. Below them the city kept moving, indifferent and alive, full of people hiding and people seeking and everyone in between just trying to figure out which one they were. Zara had spent 2 years being invisible. Standing here, in plain sight, holding the hand of someone equally broken and equally real, she decided she was done with that. The end.